Hello and welcome back to another day of Fànfic reading. So give me just a second. Trying to check Facebook. Okay, that's not there. Back to the story. Okay, so we left off with chapter 15. So now here is chapter 16 of Equestria Girls Starlight Story by Math 16. Chapter 16. End of Magic, Out of Mind. Exterior Courtyard, Crystal Prep Academy, the city, afternoon. Continuing the previous scene, Professor Discord, Vicious Moose, Thorax, his two changing grunts, 5 Sentry, Spike, the Shadow 5, and the Humane 7 are completely devastated at the sight of the overpowering Principal Cinch, floating down to the ground to confront the gang. Principal Cinch. Twilight Sparkle, I have been expecting you. Thorax still on his cell phone. Cornicle? On second thought, send them in now. Hangs up. Twilight Sparkle. Principal Cinch, what do you think you're doing? Principal Cinch. I am restoring Crystal Prep to its former glory. The one you have cost me greatly, traitor. Twilight Sparkle. Cinch, listen to me. This isn't the way. This power you have has blinded your judgment. Please, you have to give it up. So that, Principal says, don't you dare lecture me, princess. Twilight and friends are shocked to hear Cinch speak of that term, while the Shadow Five are a bit confused on the topic. Sugarcoat. Princess? Principal Cinch. Oh yes, Twilight. I know of the story about Equestria. The place where the magic originated. The place where Sunset Shimmer used to live. The place where there is another Twilight Sparkle who reigns as the Princess of Friendship. The true teacher of Starlight Glimmer. I know that her old mentor, Princess Lesia, and her dreadful sister, Princess Luna, are the two rulers of that land. And I know both Princess Cadis and her beloved husband, Shining Armor, rule over the Crystal Empire. As for me, my existence in that world is of no importance. If I actually do exist in that world, I will not accept this. I refuse to accept this. Sunset Shimmer. Principal Cinch, you have to give up this magic. This isn't helping anyone. It's making you Cinch fire some magical energy beam right in front of Sunset's feet. Principal Cinch, I will not be undermined by some horse from another dimension. Twilight Sparkle. Cinch, please, don't do this. You're not acting like yourself. Principal Cinch. Haven't I? I feel more like myself than I've ever been. In fact, I've never felt more alive. I now see the promise that magic can bring. I do not fear it as you do. Does it make it easy for you to think it is the magic that's making me act this drastically? Or maybe this is the part of me I have forgotten. And it's all thanks to you and that accursed Starlight. Now let me return the favor, Midnight Sparkle. Cinch generates a magic aura around one of her hands. The Shadow 5 responds to this, and get in front of Twilight in hopes of protecting her. Indigo Sap. Stay away from her, you witch! I would have said you bitch, but you know, this is not my writing. Principal Cinch. Dismay. You ungrateful delinquents! After all I have done for you so far, you would defend this monster! Sweet, setting up an arrow in her bow. We were all monsters back then. She looks back at Twilight and gives her a slight nod with a smile. Twilight smiles and nods back, as the rest of her friends join her and get ready for a fight. Sunset Shimmer. I'm sorry, Twilight, but it looks like we won't be able to reason with her. In fact, I'm starting to think she really isn't being consumed by the magic. There's no way out of it. The only way to stop Cinch is if we can defeat her here and now. Give me a second. Alright, Twilight Sparkle sighs. Very well. I guess we don't have a choice. She prepares herself as well. Principal Cinch. So be it then. I shall deal with you traitors first. Then once my new influence spreads to Cantaloupe High, there will be no obstacle to get in my way again. Rainbow Dash. Oh yeah? You and what, Arnie? Cinch just smiles and puts her fingers in her mouth. Wish I could do that. I tried, it doesn't work. She blows a really long and loud whistle that bothers Spike's ears. Interior auditorium. Crystal Prep Academy. All of Cinch's victims start to descend to the floor from the spell. The whistle is so loud it reaches the auditorium, where the now brainwashed Principal Celestia, Vice Principal Luna, Spoiled Rich, and Rosetta, who have been standing on guard, have received it. When Shining Armor, Dean Cadence, and all the students and teachers can stand, they all too have the same possessed eyes as the other four. They too hear the whistle. Then everyone just is out of the exits, clearing the auditorium and rushing into the halls. Exterior courtyard. Cinch just finished with the whistle. In everyone's confusion, the glass doors of the school burst open, and Cinch's newly brainwashed army comes gushing out. Sugarcoat Chirimbadosh. You just had to jinx it. Interior Principal Cinch's office. Crystal Prep Academy. Sunburst looks out the window, and is worried to see the army coming forward towards the small group. Exterior courtyard. The army stops right behind Cinch, and the gang feels completely overwhelmed by this predicament. Twilight and Sunset are horrified to see who is among their ranks. Twilight Sparkle. Shining Armor! Cadence! Sunset Shimmer. Principal Celestia and Vice Principal Luna! To Cinch. What have you done to them? Principal Cinch. I simply showed them a better path, one that is fit to my vision. Or, that. They do what I wish, without question or regret. Just what I was looking for in a Crystal Prep shuttleboat. Soon, I will ruin the Wonder Coast's reputation, as they ruined mine. At this point, the whole gang seems furious. Dorax hears some soft shrieking sounds and looks behind him. Jack, that's despicable. We won't let that happen. Principal Cinch mockingly. You and whose army? Dorax stepping forward. My army. The sound Dorax heard gets louder than that everyone can hear it. They turn around and look through the school's gate. Several black cars and vans park themselves on both sides of the street in front of Crystal Prep. Dozens of changing family grunts come out of them. All adults and teenagers of different colors run through the main gate, while some go over the wall. Loomis says, Who are they? Principal Cinch. Who are they? Yeah. The changing spread out until they form a line facing the cursed shadow bolts. The numbers of the changing family members match the number of Cinch's army. Among them is Dorax's older brother, Pharynx. He is a dark cyan-colored young man, shorter than Dorax. He has purple eyes under purple sunglasses, spiky red hair, not as spiky as Dorax's, a little purple jacket with a red shirt inside, a pair of purple pants, and a sparkling red tie with a tie bar that has a tray of white gems on it. Dorax comes running across the front lines to instruct his troops. Dorax. Good work, Chronicle. Pharynx, make sure everyone holds their positions. Alright, listen up. I know it sounds strange, but these people are being mind-controlled. So try not to hurt them too much. That lady there's the real menace. You know that one over there. Professor Discord. Oh, this is gonna get interesting. He goes behind the bushes up against the wall, and he pulls out a long chair, bag of popcorn, and binoculars from nowhere. What a lazy ass hole. Principal Cinch looks upon the army of changelings and delivers a slight chuckle. Principal Cinch. So, if it's a battle you want, then a battle you shall have. A strong silence is held at the front line for a couple of moments. Cue cricket noises. As both sides continue staring each other down, ready for a fight. Like an anime. Attention, one and all! Just pretend I have a bullhorn. I, Principal Abacus Cinch, am proud to declare this fine moment as the rematch of the century. Due to the disruption at our last friendship games, I would like to welcome everyone to our final event, the battle to the finish. In this event, we will be pitching all of Crystal Prep Academy against this mysterious army, the Candleline Wondercoats and the traitor Starlight Sparkle. So if the competitors are ready, everyone flinchily Cinch raising a hand. Nothing but the best. She waves it forward, and her entire brainwashed army begins charging towards their enemy. Pharynx, charge! The changeling's grunts start running towards the possessed Shadow Balls as well. Then the Humane 7, the Shadow 5, Flash, Spike, and Mr. Smooth join them. The Humane 7 activated the magical geodes around their necks and are now able to use their powers. Both armies collide in a large dust cloud. The cursed crystal prep drones struggle with the changing grunts, each in very different ways. As the changelings are holding back and fighting them, the Shadow Balls are going all out and attacking them. Some would hold firmly to the other, some would slap each other silly, and a few would go back attacking each other after realizing they were only attacking themselves. Oh, that's gonna suck. A group of Shadow Balls chase a changeling to the bushes, only to run away scared when a bear pops out. Turns out to be the changeling in a bear costume. How creative. The Humane 7 tried holding out on their own. No one can get near Applejack due to her super strength. Rarity uses her diamond shields to block and push them back. Pinkie Pie is throwing explosive trees everywhere. Rainbow Dash knocks them all down with her super speed, and Twilight is throwing them around with her telekinesis. Sunset, Fluttershy, and Spike are simply trying to work their way to the crowd. Sunset tries to fend some off, even trying to read their minds. Despite failing some images of Cinch's twisted vision, she is able to learn how each of them fight. The Shadow 5 try fighting back as well. Sour Sweet attacks enemies by swinging her bow around. Sunny Flare and Lemon Cess knock them down with their skating tricks, and everyone tries avoiding Indigo Sap and Sugar Coast motorbikes as they throw kicks at anyone who passes by. Oh, son of a bitch! Thorax, Fangs, and Flash are fighting them off side by side. A bunch of possessed Shadow Balls run at Mr. Smooth, and as they pile up on him, he effortlessly throws them off his body. And he starts to change. While running, he tackles through several crystal preppers like a cannonball. Professor Discord, still watching from the sidelines. Yes! Nothing can stop the Smooths! As the battle rages on, one of the cursed students jumps onto Indigo Sap and knocks her off her bike. Oh, that's just mean. Rainbow Dash spots that same student going after Indigo, so she zooms and pushes him away. When she helps Sap up, they see that Fluttershy is surrounded. So Dash rushes over there and knocks all of them away. Dumbbell, I feel bad for anyone with that name, but says to Hoops and Score, "Hey, look, it's Rainbow Crash." Hoop says, "Yeah, gloves are shy." Rainbow Dash, disappointed, "Oh no, not these guys." Indigo Sap, "You know these punks?" Fluttershy, "We went to class at junior high together." The three boy bullies all tackles Rainbow to the ground, only to be held onto her as she speeds off. She starts running in a circle until the boy lets go and flies off. Wait a minute. You mean boys? Sour Sweet tackles Fluttershy to get her out of the way of an oncoming faculty member. The fall causes Fluttershy's backpack to fall off. They take cover behind Indigo's fallen motorbike. Sour Sweet, all this because we have a horrible principal. Why can't we have gone on strike like normal people? That's what everyone else does nowadays. Sour sees someone attacking Lemon Cess, so she fires an arrow towards them. It flies between them, and the attacker looks at where it came from, making them distracted long enough for Lemon to kick herself free and skate off. Indigo Sap picks her bike up and drives away with it. Sad Sweet then gives Flush an extra quiver and bow. "Here, you might need this. Let's hope we don't have to use it." Cinch walks forward in the middle of the battle, watching the Humane 7 use new magic powers. Principal Cinch, "Typical Wonder Coats, always using the magic to win, but this time we're playing even." A group of changelings charges Cinch, but she swings her hand and swats with an O, apparently, swats them into the air. Applejack can see her toss on another group of changelings with her magic, so she runs up to her and attempts to throw her a punch. But Cinch stops the blow with her hand as her fangs start to glow again. She kicks AJ out to the side. Rarity sees this and sends a shield into Cinch's way. but Cinch evades the shield by teleporting and fires an energy beam at Rarity. She puts up another shield, but Cinch manipulates the beam go after it and hit Rarity on the side. Sarasui fires 3 arrows at Cinch, but she stops in midair. She then teleports in front of Sour, startling her to fall to the ground. Fluttershy is so worried for Sour. Fluttershy, oh no. Fluttershy's backpack begins to move and shake as the zipper starts to open. Cinch looks down at the frightened Sarasui as she builds up magic in her hand. But she gets interrupted when Squirrel jumps on her arm, as she gets attacked by the rest of the animals from Fluttershy's backpack. Now, Fluttershy is worried for the safety of her animals. 2 birds, 2 hamsters, a kitty, that one squirrel, and even Ancient Bunny are pecking at Cinch, lashing out to her and scratching her. Cinch tries shaking and pulling them off, but it did no good. Princess Cinch, enough! She delivers an energy wave that sends the animals flying off of her. Angel lands closer to Cinch, and she just picks him up. He struggles to get out of her grasp. Worthless vermin! Cinch raises her hand and starts channeling magic to release upon Angel. But then suddenly, a yellow hand grabs into Cinch's arm before she could attack the rabbit. Fluttershy, how dare you! Cinch turns to see an angry Fluttershy throwing a punch at her. Cinch falls back on the ground, and Angel drops to the ground as well, now free. Damn, Fluttershy. Professor Discord is still in the bushes, watching the whole thing. Professor Discord, wow, have to admit, didn't see that one coming. Fluttershy, picking up Angel and cuddling him. Oh, Angel, are you alright? I hope that mean Lay didn't hurt you. Sarasui's jaw dropped, and her eyes are wide open from what she had just witnessed. Sarasui, whoa, Fluttershy, where did that come from? Fluttershy, oh my, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to snap like that. Sarasui, no, stay snapped. I feel like there's a reference to something. Then Cinch, lying on her back, raises both of her arms and slumps them to the ground. The force causes her to fly up to the point where she can stand. She looks at the two with a black eye, and the right side of her glasses all busted. She takes off the glasses and then drops them right in front of her, and then starts walking forward, but not without stepping on her glasses, breaking them some more. Ouch. She stops right in front of Sour, Sweet, and Fluttershy, and Nature Bunny still in her arms, and looks down the girls with a frozen expression of disappointment, while the two are paused in fear. Fluttershy, I'm sorry. From a sudden flash of light, Rainbow Dash can see Sour, Sweet, Fluttershy, and Angel flying off overhead, screaming, before crash landing. Meanwhile, Cinch has had her hand out, with the palm all smoky. Principal Cinch, I'm not. Well, 'cause you're the family, you're not supposed to be sorry. Rainbow Dash turns to Cinch and super sprints right towards her. Cinch sees her coming and uses her magic. Dash keeps running, but stops when she realizes she is a foot in the air. Cinch then tosses her aside. Then Indigo, Zap, and Sugarcoat charge at her with their motorbikes. Cinch uses her magic to stop Sugarcoat's bike in its place, causing her to fly out the seat. Indigo looks back to see if she's alright. She is. Then Cinch steps to the side and grabs Zap off her bike as she passes by. While holding on to Indigo, Cinch sees Sunny Flare and Lemon Zest skating at her. So she uses magic once again to send them flying back, and she throws Indigo aside. Pinkie Pie throws some glowing candy at her, but Cinch stops them in midair. Princess Cinch, I hate sweets. I love them, so. She sends them flying back at her. Pinkie jumps away in alarm before the candy explodes. Sunset Shimmer helps her up, and Twilight has been watching everything close by. She attempts to walk over there to help her friends, but stops when she hears a loud bleeping sound. Bleep, 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 bleep. She then looks at her half of the magic spectrometer she still has in her hand. You can see the 2 lights on it. It is detecting large quantities of magic. One is pointing at Cinch, while the other she can see pointing directly at the school. Twilight sparkle. Starlight. Sunset notices Twilight run towards the front entrance. Sunset Shimmer. Twilight! She goes after her. Spike, who is hiding in the bushes, spots Twilight and Sunset heading towards the school. Spike. Twilight, wait! He comes out the bushes and goes after them. Sindra continues to fend off the opposing side. She flies up in an attempt to avoid them. Then she notices Twilight running towards Crystal Prep. Crystal says, "Oh, don't think I have forgotten about you, Miss Sparkle." She fires a musket beam towards Twilight. She is already at the door when the beam gets closer. At the last moment, both Sunset and Spike leap forward onto Twilight. They are already inside when the beam comes down, and the entire entrance is completely covered in spiky black crystals. Fix my hair. Interior, main foyer, Crystal Prep Academy. Twilight, Sunset, and Spike get up, seeing how close they are to being goners. Sunset shimmer. Twilight, are you alright? Twilight sparkle. Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks, guys. Come on. She tries to run off. Spike. Twilight, where are you going? Twilight sparkle. Stops, turns around, and shows them the device. Starlight Glimmer is here, and I think I know where to find her. Follow me. She proceeds running, and Spike and Sunset go after her. Exterior courtyard. Avery gets word for their friends trapped inside. Principal Cinch. Don't even try to escape. This is my school. It's mine, now and forever. Cinch's fangs and eyes start glowing again, as she raises her arms in the air. The crystals from the entrance start to grow rapidly all over the school walls, until the whole building is completely covered in jagged dark crystals. Then she continues her attack on the enemy. Interior, Starlight's research room, Crystal Prep Academy. Twilight, Sunset, and Spike finally reach Starlight's private room. But after hearing loud noises coming through the door, they open it slightly, stick their heads in. They can see Starlight swing her hands around, and using her magic throw stuff all over the room in a rage. Tears are pouring out of her eyes as a sign of a breakdown. She finally stops when she drops to the floor, crying. The two girls and their dog open the door slowly and walk into the room. Looking at the fragile Starlight, Sunset tries walking up to her, but she is stopped by Twilight. Twilight sparkle. Wait, Sunset. Allow me. Please, I got to be the one to do it. Sunset nods in agreement, and lets Twilight go ahead. She walks up to Starlight and kneels down by her. She cries so much, it's like she has a nose there in the room. Twilight slowly places a hand on Starlight's shoulder. This startles her so much, she looks up to see Twilight right beside her. Starlight Glimmer, angry. What are you doing here? Twilight Sparkle. Looking for you. You have to help us. Cinch has gone completely out of control. Starlight Glimmer. It's pointless. Leave me alone. Twilight Sparkle. Starlight, what about your classmates? What about our friends? Starlight Glimmer chuckles. Friends? All they are is a big mess of differences. How can I expect to make friends with that? Suddenly, Twilight hears a voice coming from the computer. Sunburst's voice. Oh man, this isn't good. I wish there was something I can do. Twilight Sparkle. Is that Sunburst? Interior, Principal Cinch's office. The bug Starlight had planted on Cinch's desk is still active. Sunburst continues watching the data from the windows, so he decides to look through Starlight's notes. Sunburst. If only these notes could come up with a solution. But it seems to contain queries just like the ones I've discussed with Twilight about EM frequencies and energy shifts. Very intriguing though. Interior, Starlight's research room. Twilight Sparkle. Where is the setup? Starlight, we gotta help Sunburst. You have to touch where he's being kept. The depressed Starlight doesn't say a word. Don't you even care about Sunburst? Starlight is stunned by that last statement. She starts hesitating for a few moments. Starlight Glimmer. Principal's office. Sunset Shimmer. I'll go. Twilight, you stay here with Starlight. After Twilight gives her the okay, Sunset leaves the room, and then she comes back in. Yeah, Twilight Sparkle, it's on the top floor. Take the stairs in the main foyer straight up, and it'll be the first door you see. Sunset Shimmer. Got it. Then she leaves the room again. Twilight hears a commotion outside, looks out the window. Cinch is overwhelming their forces. Twilight begins to worry and turns back to Starlight. Twilight Sparkle. Starlight, please. You got to know how to stop all this. Everyone else is... Starlight Glimmer, depressed. I started all of this. It's not my fault. Sunburst wouldn't be if it wasn't for me. All I ever wanted is for everyone to be treated equally. But I only made things worse. I'm too much like her. Now I see why you've avoided them. I don't deserve any friends. Twilight looks down at Starlight, now rolled up into a ball on the floor. She takes pity on her and decides to kneel down beside Starlight again and places a hand on her. Twilight sparkles. You're wrong, Starlight. You do deserve friends. In fact, you deserve friends more than I did. Starlight is stunned by the last remark. You know all about friendship long before I did. I've been avoiding making friends during my time at Crystal Prep. I knew something was wrong and didn't do anything to fix it. I could have changed things, but I didn't. But it was only after I met my friends at Candlelit High that I realized what it truly means. For the first time in my life, I was happy. Starlight glimmer. What's so special about them? They're just so different. Twilight sparkle. The differences between us is what makes our friendship strong. After I turned into Midnight Sparkle, all I tried to do was run away from them so I wouldn't hurt anyone. But that didn't solve the problem. But then they made me realize I was different from when I was Midnight. Just as we are from our pony selves, just as you are from Cinch. Your differences can define you as well as your similarities. Slight glimmer. But you were too different from the Shadow Bolts, and they turned their back on you. Just as Sunburst turned his back on me. Just as all the kids from my old village. Twilight sparkle. But that was then. Just start all over. That's why I've been talking with Sunburst these past few days, so you two can start over. I made some mistakes, and once the Shadow Bolts realized they made mistakes, they wanted to make it up to me. They wanted to be my friends, so I gave them a chance. But it's not just me they want to make friends with. They also want to be your friends as well as the Wonder Coats. When your friendship ended, it led us here. Just as I avoided turning it, turning me into Midnight Sparkle. But just imagine what good friends you would make if you just gave them another chance. Starlight glimmer. How do I know they won't turn their backs on me too? Twilight sparkle. I guess it's up to you to make sure it doesn't happen. Spike, as they hear the commotion outside. Twilight! Twilight looks out the window again and starts getting worried. Twilight sparkle. Look, you must understand that I can't stay here. I have to go out there because my friends are in danger and they need my help. And I just can't do nothing. Not again. They are the ones who made me who I am today. Twilight starts to glow and pointing up, with her pointy ears, ponytail, and eloquent wings. Starlight, with her face still wet from tears, looks up astounded by Twilight's form. If you want to help, then come on. Though you can stay if you want to. It's your choice. But if you go out that door, then I'll know. You're one of us. Starlight continues to look up at her with widened eyes as her words touched her. Twilight walks toward the door with Spike at her side. Twilight sparkle. To Spike. Okay, I'll go outside and help the others. You go help Sunset save Sunburst. Spike. Got it. Twilight walks to the door and takes one last look at Starlight before closing it. Starlight is left on the floor with a shocked expression from what Twilight said to her. Excuse me. She looks off and sees her magic reactor just at arm's reach. So she grabs it and presses the activation switch. She stares in the mini porter is making and looks upon Equestria on the other side. Exterior/interior, Principal Cinch's office. Sunset Shimmer reaches the top floor of the stairs and sees that the office door is encased in crystal. She runs up to it and starts banging on it. Sunset Shimmer. Sunburst! Hello? Sunburst! Are you in there? Sunburst runs to the door. Yes. Who is this? Sunset Shimmer. Don't worry. I'm a friend of Twilight Sparkle. I'm here to get you out. Somehow. Sunset looks around and picks up one of the chairs up against the wall beside the door. Then she starts banging against the crystal. Ow. She continues. She begins to pony up herself. Exterior courtyard. The battle rages on with Cinch firing energy beams all over the field that form into giant dark crystals when they hit the ground. Professor Disco continues watching all the action on the sidelines, like a sports fan. Phalanx doesn't like how Cinch is blasting at his own hive. So he runs up to one of the large crystals, closest to Cinch, and jumps off of it, and grabs hold of her. This causes Cinch to fire a stray beam directly towards Discord. Discord sees the beam coming, through binoculars in the wrong end, and jumps away to safety. Onto the ground, Phalanx struggles with Cinch until he's finally able to hold her down. Gotta hold, Phalanx. You know, you remind me of another lady I used to know. I think you two would get along just fine. She's just as rotten as you are. Then he is surrounded by magic aura and is floating off the ground. Cinch floats up herself until she can stand. Principal Cinch. Well then, perhaps I should go visit sometime. I'm sure she'd be thrilled to know that I have done her a favor. She opens her hand, palm facing Pharynx, and a ball of magical energy begins to form in its center. Knowing her intentions, Thorax jumps and grabs hold of her arm, making her pull out the ball and strike Pharynx. Thorax, stay away from my brother! Cinch throws him off, and Pharynx charges at her, making her own magic to push him away. She sees a bunch of changelings come at her all around, but then immediately retreat when they see her about to blast them. Discord gets up from the ground and finds himself completely surrounded by 5 cursed shadow bolts. Boy, cursed. Well, well. Now what do we have here? If it ain't Professor Discord, it's about time to pay you back, Teach. Professor Discord. Oh, pooh. Well, stretches. Guess it can't be helped. He smirks at the possessed kids as they begin their assault. The one in front throws the first punch, but Discord swiftly grabs hold of the forearm, moves over to the side, and pulls the arm forward so that the punch can go straight into the guy from behind. Another attacks from the side by swinging the punch at Discord. He counters by moving his torso slightly, causing his fist to slide out the side, and hits the first guy. Discord pulls off one of his gloves, which is actually his whole hand. A fake. And smacks him with it. Oh, hang on, maybe, or... Another one comes up from behind, and sees Discord's head, arms, and legs completely turn around. He grabs the brainwashed student's wrist, knees him, and kicks him away. Then Discord removes the false back from his front torso. The last student jumps him, and Discord struggles and breaks free. Professor Discord, like a carnival announcer, and to the winner! He manages to smash a pie, which came completely from nowhere into the guy's face. As he tries clearing it off, Discord casually walks away. That was fun. Then he stops when he sees Dr. Hoofs, plus 2 other faculty members charging at him. They all jump on Discord in a cloud of dust made from a beating. Discord walks out of them as unharmed, while he sees his new attackers not knowing he's gone yet. Cinch continues to share her magic around. Mr. Smooth tries running at her with ramming speed, but she's able to catch him with her magic and toss him aside, right into a group of Fluttershy's animals. Fluttershy is devastated, and then she sees one of those beings heading towards her, so she jumps out of the way. While on the ground, she notices a cursed student standing right in front of her, looking down on her. She looks up in terror to seeing him raise his fist. But before he can bring it down upon her, Discord's hand comes from behind and sticks an ugly-looking flower up to his nose. One whiff from the flower, and the student turns green from the scent. Feels faint and falls over. Discord is seeing what the other guy was, sniffing the flower himself. Professor Discord. The delightful scent of rancid aroma with a hint of putrid. As he continues sniffing, Fluttershy picks herself up with relief, and then gives Discord a really big hug to show her gratitude. At first, Discord is surprised and uncomfortable, but then he looks down on the happy Fluttershy, and he begins to feel delight and gives her a slight pat on the head. Meanwhile, Cinch continues her vicious attack spree, but then she spots Discord off in distance and is completely furious. Principal Cinch. You! She used her magic to pull Discord towards her, ripping him out of Fluttershy's grasp, and in an instant, both Discord and Cinch are flying face to face. Discord! Professor Discord. Oh, Principal Cinch! What a surprise meeting you here. Is that a new look? I particularly like the black eye. It brings out the seriousness in you. Principal Cinch. Silence! You mentally deceased creature! You deceived me! Professor Discord. What did you expect? Principal Cinch. You knew Star Glimmer would be a terrible student. I called upon you to help me, to protect my reputation, and this is what you do for me? Why? Professor Discord. Your reputation is a joke. Plus, I just don't like you. This dang burn. Cinch starts forming an energy ball in her hand, and Discord starts to get worried and tries struggling out of the magic. Principal Cinch, let's see if your tricks can get you out of this. She prepares to fight the frightened Discord, with Fluttershy shockingly witnessing. But then they hear a jiggling sound, like keys. Boo-boo keys. They look to school's entrance and see the barrier of crystal covered in a magenta glow, shaking and rattling. They vibrate so fast it causes them to break up. Almost everyone there can see this happening. As the multitude of crystals float aside and they clear the entrance, Twilight, who has her hands held out, walks out to school. Humane 7 sends Twilight and Sunset, excited. Twilight! Principal Cinch, displeased. Sparkle! Twilight sees Cinch threatening Discord, so she waves her hands forward, and a small amount of the floating crystals zoom towards Cinch in a straight line. Vroom. Cinch reacts by moving aside to avoid the crystals. This allows her to lose focus on Discord, letting him go. While he falls, Fluttershy has a bunch of squirrels and bunnies come together to pile underneath Discord, and he lands safely on them. Cinch looks upon Twilight with an unpleasant stare, as she flies straight towards her. Twilight responds, flying at her as well, with the crystals falling behind her. As they draw closer, Twilight throws more crystals at Cinch, but Cinch evades them, blocks them with shields. The two then stare at each other in midair. Principal Cinch, why did you come back? You abandoned the school. You betrayed us. Twilight sparkled. I left Crystal to seek out new knowledge, to understand friendship. You stayed here and stewed in your own misery. Principal Cinch, you dare return, after the way you just up and quit like you did? Twilight sparkled. I didn't quit, Crystal Pep. I quit you. They continue to fight with Cinch trying to fly away and Twilight falling after her. She throws most of the crystals she had at Cinch. She even gets more from crystals Cinch had made earlier. But Cinch keeps moving to side and blessing the crystals. She makes it up to the wall surrounding the school, and she turns and jumps off the wall, making her fly in the other direction. Twilight tosses more crystals until Cinch teleports away. In Twilight's confusion, Cinch appears up behind her. She shoots a beam at her, but Twilight looks behind and sees what is happening, and quickly dodges it. Principal Cinch, you were my best student, and yet you're still a disappointment. How did I ever trust you? Twilight sparkled. I don't think you ever did. Twilight fires more crystals, but Cinch raises an energy shield, shining them upon impact. Principal Cinch, is that the best you can do? Exterior/interior, Principal Cinch's office. Sunset continues banging the crystal barrel when Spike finally arrives. Spike, Twilight sent me to help. What's up? Sunset shimmer. Sunburst is inside. We need to get him out, Spike. Spike agrees, and Sunset goes back to banging while Spike is taking away the loose pieces. While inside, Sunburst is on edge, hoping they will succeed. But then he notices a part of the floor is glowing teal. He is surprised to see something ascend, facing to that spot on the floor. Exterior courtyard. Cinch fires her energy beams, while Twilight avoids them. Applejack sees this and decides to do something about it. As she pulls out and uses her lasso, she ponies up. She snacks onto a large chunk of crystal, and uses her super strength to break that chunk off and swings it over at Cinch. Cinch deploys her shield at the last minute, and then pushes her away from Twilight. Cinch pushes the crystal away and fires upon Applejack, but then rarely gets in front of Applejack, ponies up, sets up a diamond shield in front of them, and blocks the attack. Cinch then notices huge flocks of birds covering the skies, heading right for her. They are summoned by a pony-up Fluttershy to attack Cinch. Cinch is then swarmed upon by hundreds of birds of different kinds. As she is overwhelmed, she emits a magic force field and expands it. All the birds are being pushed away from her. Her robe has a few cuts on the birds. Pinkie Pie is right by Sour Sweet, observing the situation. Pinkie takes an arrow out of Sour's quiver, and Sour wants to know what she's doing with it. Then Pinkie points up and tosses the arrow back to Sour. Pinkie Pie, Sour, fire it, quick! Sour Sweet, what? Alright. Sour loads it onto the bow and pulls it back on the string. She aims at a cinch and then lets go of the string. The arrow flies straight towards the blue witch. First time I heard that. But suddenly, she just catches it in her bare hand, just inches away from her head. She looks up at Sour Sweet and Pinkie Pie. Principal Cinch, smug. Really? It is revealed there is a glowing pink marshmallow stuck to the tip of the arrow. It explodes, and in an enormous pink cloud, Cinch flies out and crash lands on the ground. Pinkie Pie raises an eyebrow. Really? Cinch trying to get up, her rope is now even more torn than it was before. Rainbow Dash sees Cinch, so she ponies up and starts to super sprint. Then, in an instant, she's flying, zooming straight up into the air from right off the ground. She flies up to what seems to be 100 feet, and then dive bombs straight down at top speed. She goes down so fast she forms a mock cone around her. As Cinch tries getting up, she looks up into the air and sees the winged girl heading down towards her. And finally, Rainbow Dash breaks through the sound barrier and performs a sonic rain boom. The flash is so bright, everyone, the possessed Shadowbows, the Changelings, and the rest of their friends, stop fighting and look up in amazed, seeing the rainbow wave spray into the sky. Even the reflection of the sight can be seen in Indigo Sap's helmet visor. Indigo Sap, so awesome. Sunny Flare, now that's a true rain boom. Rainbow Dash, now flying. Stupid email thing. Get off. Rainbow Dash, now flying faster than before, comes down upon Cinch. The impact creates a miniature multicolored mushroom cloud in the middle of the courtyard. Giant mushroom cloud. Maybe it's friendly. Not now, Sokka. Oh crap. Okay. Everyone is down and covering themselves from the dust cloud. As all seems calm, Dash's friends head towards the little crater she made, surrounded by people who are blown away for being too close to blast. It's so hot when they see through the haze, but when they got close enough, they can make out a silhouette in the shape of Rainbow Dash on the edge of the crater. Her friends seem delighted to see her, but then a silhouette of someone tall appears right behind Rainbow, holding her by the neck. As the dust clears, they are all shocked to see it is Cinch, now with a completely torn robe, picking up Rainbow Dash by the back of the neck. Cinch simply throws Rainbow Dash into Applejack, emits an energy wave that knocks the rest of their friends down. Then her possessed slaves continue to battle with the Changelings. Moment gone. Exterior. Our Principal Cinch's office. Sunset keeps busting into the crystal wall, and Spike keeps digging into the little pieces she makes from it. Sunset's burst. To the door. Sunset! Step away from the door! After hearing this, Sunset drops a chair, grabs Spike, and runs to a safe distance. Suddenly, through the transparent crystal, the edges of the office door all pierce to give off a teal-colored light. Then both the door and crystal barrier blow up into a million pieces. Sunset and Spike try to see through the dense cloud of smoke. A silhouette of someone steps out the office, and both of them are surprised when it's revealed who it is. Who could it be, I wonder? Exterior courtyard. Twilight quickly gets up and swoops down upon Cinch, using her measure to pick up the shattered pieces of crystal off the ground, sending them all flying at Cinch. But Cinch quickly responds by using magic to put the brainwashed Principal Celestia, Vice Principal Luna, Dean Cadence, and Shining Armor over to her and placing her in front of her, using them as human shields. Twilight spots this immediately and stops the shots right in front of them. The pieces all drop to the ground, while Twilight stares at the four familiar faces a few feet away. Principal Celestia, cursed. That's a good girl. You were always such a faithful student. Maybe that's why you liked me so much. Dean Cadence, cursed. You have always been the best and brightest among your peers. So loyal. Vice Principal Luna, cursed. You would do whatever you were told, without question. Shining Armor, cursed. But by denying greatness, you become nothing but a great disappointment to us all. Principal Cinch, so come, Twilight. Let's see how devoted you are to your loved ones, when they're not on your side. Cinch snaps her fingers, and the four run over to attack Twilight. Knowing she doesn't want to hurt them, Twilight dusts their attacks and uses her levitation powers to push each of them away. While she is distracted, Cinch walks forward and shoots a beam from her finger. Like Frieza? When Twilight isn't looking, she gets hit by the beam and magical energy surges through her body, making her scream in pain. Pinkie Pie, Twilight! Twilight falls to the ground as Principal Cinch walks over to her. Principal Cinch, It's like I said before, the smart one's time here at CPA hardly ever lasts. Tries getting up, but Cinch uses magic to turn her over to her back and hold her down. She is unable to move a single muscle in her body. Oh, I repeated that twice. She lies helplessly as Cinch walks up to her and kneels right beside her. She feels some magic energy in her hand, preparing to strike Twilight down. Twilight Sparkle. No. Cinch, please. Principal Cinch, Miss Sparkle. I'm afraid I'm going to have to expel you from Crystal Prep. For good. Twilight's friends try to get up and save her. Rainbow Dash is about to run to her aid, and Cinch is going to unleash her attack on terrified Twilight. But then, a magical tear energy being shoots out from the school's entrance, flies across the courtyard, hits Cinch directly, and sends her flying until she crash lands into the shrouding wall, saving Twilight. Everybody in the front lawn starts fighting after what just happened. They all turn to the front of the school. The possessed students and faculty, the changing family, Professor Discord, Mr. Smooth, Flash Century, the Shadow 5, the Humane 7, even Twilight look to see where that blast came from. From the opening, somebody comes out the shadows with one hand glowing in a teal-colored energy, and it's revealed to be Starlight Glimmer. She has her magical reactor in the other hand, and she seems to be wearing the special harness she's been working on. Scene 10. It is hooked onto her torso with a special chest piece, and 4 special tube-like cables going down each to her wrists and ankles. Held down to her arms and legs with straps to her biceps, thighs, wrists, and ankles. Sorry, Glimmer. Leave my friends alone! To be continued. After 2 weeks of break and 2 months of working, I have finally completed the 16th chapter. Now the true battle can begin. Yes, I had a pharynx. I did say I was going to keep updating it from the series. I also said I would keep doing this until it's completed, despite the release of the new Equestria Girls shorts and the end of Season 7. Hope you enjoyed the story so far, and it feels good to be back. Bye!